we have a show to justify that. No, we do. We got a great show for you tonight. I'm Johnny Carson, the Shaw of comedy. Because after I do the monologue, you're going to send me on vacation. Ring-a-boom-bing. I should explain. I'm still in a nutty mood from last night. I'm going strictly bananas. I think there's a full moon, isn't there? Close to it. Incidentally, I've mentioned this every night, but I'd like to mention it because Freddie DeCord, our regular producer, is down with Bob Hope at the Desert Classic, and our associate producer, Mr. Peter LaSalle, is filling in. And let me tell you a little bit about Peter. He's of Dutch origin, and it's really a Horatio Alger story. It's very touching. Peter arrived at Ellis Island, no formal education, no skills, unable to speak a word of the English language, and knew there was only one hope for him, to get into television. Still does not speak one word of the English language. I have a late bulletin. I just took off the teletype. Yes, just came on, I think, United Press. CBS announced that All in the Family will be returning next year with Billy Carter playing the role of Archie Bunker. I assume you've been following Billy Carter's latest faux pas? You didn't hear what he did down in Plains, Georgia, with the Libyan delegation that he was showing around Plains? How can I delicately put this? Well, let me put it this way. There's a new city ordinance in Plains, Georgia, went in effect today. From now on, Miss Lillian has to carry a billy scooper with her on the streets. Does that explain what I'm telling you? Okay. You know, the Carter administration has had some embarrassing leaks, but this one takes the cake. We live in a great country, though. Where else can a gas station attendant have a foreign policy? Not many places, I warrant. Jimmy Carter has asked his evangelist sister, Ruth Stapleton, to help. The president asked Ruth to lay hands on Billy, right over his mouth. I think the president, though, handled the problem very cleverly. He just appointed Billy as new ambassador to the Bermuda Triangle. You see, the trouble with... I have plenty of time. I can wait for these, you know. If you want to pass these on and enjoy them to the fullest, it's all right. See, the trouble with Billy is that he talks before he thinks. The trouble with Jimmy is he thinks before he talks. You don't have to pass that one on if you don't want to. We got some funny things that are going to happen tonight on the show later. For the Mighty Carson Art Players, for example, are going to show you a couple of hitherto unrevealed facts about the life of Superman that most people do not know. What was I talking about? I don't know why I talked about that. Well, I just happened to think of it because it's coming up next. Jerry Brown, our governor out here. What a transition! No transition at all. I just go right into him. You know, he was inaugurated yesterday. He sat down with Mike Curb today. Now, Mike Curb was elected lieutenant governor of California, and Jerry explained the new duties of the lieutenant governor, and they're all biggies. For example, Mike Curb, his job is to put his ear, keep his ear to the San Andreas Fault, waiting for an earthquake, and then he notifies the state. He's personally in charge of oiling the ball bearings on Linda Ronstadt's roller skates. And Mike's been put in charge of a long-range program drawing up plans for the San Fernando Valley subway, of which, of course, there isn't any such thing. They thought there was a subway. Have you been following the lawsuit in Israel versus McDonald's? If you haven't seen that, it's hysterical. McDonald's got very angry because some Sharpie in Israel, I think it was in Tel Aviv, opened a place called McDavid's, in which he sold Big Macs. And they had the McDonald's logo up there, and McDonald's here in this country did not think that was very funny, and they sued the guy. And they won the first round. A judge has just barred McDavid's, the place in Israel, from using the words Big Mac in its menu. Now, McDavid's insists that they're not copying McDonald's whatsoever. As a matter of fact, they said McDavid claims that their Big Mac is completely different than the Big Mac here. It contains meat. Therefore, they want this. It was a long trip for a laugh, but we got there, didn't we? Another government report. This one's on smoking also, but something else about it. In an effort to get people to stop smoking marijuana in this country, the government is thinking about putting a sales tax on rolling paper. Yeah, hiss, you're right, yeah. So people are coming up with some alternatives to zigzag. Today on TV, I saw Mr. Whipple saying, please don't smoke the Charmin. Now, here's the crazy news item of the day, but absolutely true. In St. Joseph, Missouri, a man was given 30 days in jail for walking into a drugstore and stealing 2 Alka-Seltzer tablets. That's absolutely true. While the man was in the act of dropping the Alka-Seltzers in a glass of water, 2 policemen sneaked up behind and arrested him. It was a case of plop, plop, fuzz, fuzz. You didn't boo when I was serving on the USS Pennsylvania. When I say serving, I mean it. I was a mess steward. I was serving. Anyway, tonight, I'm looking forward to the show. This is going to be crazy or not. We have Mr. Richard Pryor and Tim Conway together on the same show. Dr. Lennon Smith, a little baby doctor, famous baby doctor. We do that all the time, and we're going to keep doing it. And in just a moment, the Mighty Carson Art Players will reveal to you some unreleased secrets about Superman. So thanks for coming. We'll be right with you in just a minute.